Okay. So, you're probably going to realize that I'm in a completely different setup today. And in all honesty, that wasn't for this video. It's because I was recording some other stuff, and obviously it's a pretty nice backdrop. So I was like, I'll leave the desk here, and I'll record my video here. So yeah. Anyway, today I've recorded two videos: a YouTube video and a sales letter, a new one. So as I said yesterday, I would get those done. I've also amassed 200 new leads to outreach to today. It is a Saturday, by the way, so that's pretty good going for a Saturday. And yeah, I did that, as well as I got 50 influencers to outreach to. Did that. Sorted out some stuff on the website, and yeah, it was a bit more time consuming than you would have thought, because I was sat here recording these things, and especially the YouTube video, it took me ages to record it because it's such a massive script. It was like 5 pages of text, and I had to keep reading it out, and then I fucked it up. I read it out again, fucked it up, and it was the same with the video sales letter. It's the same thing. So yeah, it was a bit fucked reading it out, but yeah. If you're wondering, I usually record my videos down there, not that side of the wall. There's like a concrete bit here. It's like the other side, opposite side. And I have this desk there, but obviously that setup's not great, and I was doing a sales letter. I wanted it to look somewhat impressive, so I thought I'd put it here. I thought it's a bit more, it's a nicer background. If I'm doing outreach to people, like potential clients or prospects, whatever, this is much nicer to look at than the background that we're looking at over here when I'm doing my usual videos. So yeah, I recorded both of those videos today. They took a lot longer than I thought they would. I also had to go over a bit of a wall of procrastination to actually do them, because it got to 5 o'clock and I fucked up. I woke up, and the first thing I did, because I said to myself, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get up, have a shower, whatever, and then I'm going to get leads, because I said that I'm going to get about 600 leads by Monday, to which I'm currently on about, I believe it's about 350, 400. So I've only got about 200 left, and I did 200 today. I can do 200 tomorrow. Not a problem. But yeah, I did that. I got those leads. Obviously, if you've ever tried to scrape leads before, leads being, if I explained this before, leads being potential businesses that you could work with. If you've ever tried to do that before, it's not the easiest job in the world, I've got to say. So yeah, it takes a while, because you've got to find websites, you've got to find people who are in the niche you're looking for. Then you've got to get their email address, get their first name, get their last name, whatever, put them on a spreadsheet. You've got to do that 200 times or however many times. So it's not an easy job. I have found an easier way of doing it. It's not the easiest way in the world, but it's easier than just scraping leads with Snovio. Snovio is a Chrome extension that you can help you find leads on. Like if you go onto a website, let's say you go onto logitech.com, it's going to give you the CEO, the managing director, and if it's a big company, it's going to give you like 999 plus thousand, like plus emails of people that work in the company, right? It's good, but yeah, it's a long process. So if you can automate it, I'd do that. I am somewhat automating it. We have got another guy getting leads for a completely different niche. I was getting leads for mobile games, apps. He's getting leads for, we've paid him to get leads for fintech, which is like Revolut, like banking or finance kind of online digital things. So they've got a lot more capital to invest into the product or the service that we're selling. So obviously they're good niches to go down in comparison to other ones, like let's say gardening, right? A gardening company, yes, you could work with gardening influencers. They're not going to have as much money to spend. Therefore, you're not going to get as much money for the work you're doing if you're working with gardening companies, as opposed to someone like Revolut or a banking company, right? So we're doing the big niches. Mobile games, surprisingly, have a lot of money to spend, purely because everything they do is digital. They've got no overheads, they've got no inventory. It's literally just a digital product that they can sell an infinite amount of times. So I don't know why it keeps doing that. Why is it doing that? But so yeah, that was what I've been doing today, because obviously we've outsourced people getting leads, but I'm like, it's a Saturday, I don't have much more to do, and the main factor of our business that we want it to grow is to get clients. So yes, we can pay people to get stuff, and we've perfected everything on the back end, so there's nothing I can do to procrastinate there. All I've got to do now, well, that's why I recorded that video sales letter, because that was something that we could perfect on the back end, so I've done that. But all I've got to do now is just outreach to as many people as possible. So, me being in this series, I'm not going to get to a goal without putting in the hard work that I don't want to do. So, I'm just fucking forcing myself to do it, basically. So that's what my days kind of consisted of. Yeah, I think what I've kind of realized is with this series, I'm doing a lot more work. Like, I'm doing a lot more when I'm actually working. I'm just working. There's no distractions. I'm just fucking working. But when I'm not working and I find myself sat on this sofa to my left, well, your left, my right, whatever. When I find myself sat on that sofa, or I'm lying in bed when I wake up, I don't actually sleep with my phone next to my bed. It's just weird, but I don't allow myself to go on my phone in my bed. I know this sounds so like, this is going to sound some hippie shit, right? But I charge my phone down there with the Google Home, which is my speaker, because I bought a speaker, but it doesn't work. So I've plugged the Google Home in instead. I have that and my charger there. So when I go to bed, I put an alarm on my phone, so it forces me to get out of bed, come all the way down these stairs, down here, and then get my charger there. So yeah, it stops me from procrastinating in my bed, and I actually have to get up. Sometimes I'll admit I will get up, I'll turn my alarm off, and I'll get straight back into bed, which is bad of me because I've had a sufficient amount of sleep. But it's good to look back in hindsight and realize what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. So that's what I've kind of learned. And yeah, it's just filling the void. The free time void is the problem at the moment, because I'm working in the working hours. Like when I start doing something, which I'm not procrastinating on, by the way, I'm just fucking doing it for some reason, as opposed to before when I'd procrastinate it. I'm just doing it. In the free time, in the void, which I guess could be classed as procrastination, like after I'm working or before in the morning, I find myself using my time not intentionally. And my kind of goal, so this is going to sound really weird, right? But this is kind of the best way to put it into perspective, is if you think Harry Potter, right? If you think, obviously it's fictional, but if you think in their free time, when they finish, let's say, class or whatever it is they're doing in the film, I know it's fictional, I know, but it's just, you see what I mean? When they finish that and they've got time to kill, they don't go and lie on their bed and sit scrolling through TikTok. So my kind of goal is to live somewhat like that, and in my free time, either go outside, because if you didn't know, I'm living in Porto at the moment, go outside, explore the city, or sit here, read a book, or take a book into the city and read a book there, or just do something that's more intentional than just killing time on my phone. And I know it's so nice to just go on my phone. It's nice because it's just comforting and it's easy to do, but you don't get anywhere from doing it. So I'd much rather live to which, when I've finished doing work, my brain isn't telling me to go on my phone every time I see it in my peripheral vision. I don't go on my phone, and I do something that's more productive. Maybe not productive, because it's kind of a long spiral. It's kind of a very long down spiral if you're just saying, I'm going to be productive like this. It's just toxic productivity at that point. But I think it comes to a point where, yes, it could be toxic productivity, but if you're spending your time sat on your phone in your free time, where does that get you, you know? So rather than doing that, actually enjoy the planet that you've kind of been born onto, and do something that isn't heavily stimulating, like reading a book or like walking around. Even if you're living in your hometown or you're living in the most random rural area ever, just going on a walk in with your dog and just appreciating what it is there. I know it sounds hippie, I know, but if you actually go there and appreciate it and just like force a smile on your face, I can keep going down different paths when I'm talking here. You'll enjoy what you're doing so much more. I've said this to a few people, but I've never actually heard anyone say this, and it's made such a big change. It's such a minimal but large change, is that when I'm in like a happy moment, like I was in America last year, I'm in Porto now, wherever I am, or even if it's just a small thing like I'm walking my dog, you just walk around and you just force a smile on your face, and it actually works. Like you just feel incredibly grateful and happy of where you are. Like I'll be on a plane flight, I just look out the window and I just force a smile on my face, and it's just like, wow, man. That's the kind of moment that I'm kind of looking for. And I know it sounds so hippie, but it's true. You just got to appreciate the time you have. So I've said this so many times, I just want to live intentionally with the free time, because there's obviously 16 hours in a day. And I'm spending a lot of them doing things that I don't want to do, and I look back in regret at the end of the day. So yeah, still now, I've said all this stuff about TikTok. I'm like, TikTok, it's fucked. But my brain is still fucking telling me to go on TikTok. So I need to almost put like a barrier between me and TikTok, I think, because my subconscious just knows exactly where TikTok is on my phone. So I don't even have to think about it. I'll just open my phone and I'll just press on TikTok, or I like swipe right and press on TikTok. I don't have anything on my home screen. I still go into like the app section on your iPhone, and you just click on social, and then you go to TikTok or Snapchat or whatever it is. My brain just knows. I don't do it intentionally. I imagine you probably have the same thing. You don't go on social media intentionally. You just kind of find yourself on it. So this table's got a little like, I don't know if you can see it. It's like a little, like, if I put my hand there, you can't see it. There's like a little bit of wood sticking up, and I keep I'm going to get a splinter on my arm or something. Anyway, I'm waffling. So yeah, I've told you what I've done today. I don't really think I'm procrastinating much. When I'm actually getting my head down, I'm working. And when I'm working, I'm working. There's not many distractions whilst I'm working now, which is good, because I'm conscious of what I'm doing all the time when I'm working. I'm like, I'm meant to be working. Why am I looking at Twitter? And then I just go straight off Twitter. And I can block it, yeah, but it's good because before I just go on Twitter and I just find myself in a hole on Twitter. I'd just be scrolling or replying or whatever it is. Whereas now I'm realizing that I know the task that I'm doing, to which, why should I be doing anything but that task? So I'm doing everything one thing at a time, which is good. And I've preached this, and I'm practicing what I preach. And if I'm preaching stuff, I feel like I have to actually perform on the thing that I'm preaching. So that's what I'm doing. And that's why this series is so good. So yeah, I think I have a list again for this video, because there's a few things that I wanted to go over. I just didn't want to miss anything. And I feel like I've just gone over them all, half of them unintentionally. Like filling the void when you have free time, just filling your void with distractions like TikTok or whatever, because that's like the easiest distraction. I think TikTok is easily the biggest distraction that most people have. It's like when you have a bit of free time, the first thing you do, most of us, is go on a platform that provides short form content, because it is the most addicting thing that's easy that we can access. It's so easy to access, and it's so stimulating that it's just like a no-brainer for our subconscious brain. It doesn't know what's good and what's not. It just knows what's the most stimulating and what makes us feel the best. So therefore, TikTok is that thing, or short form content is that thing. So we go on TikTok unintentionally. I think everyone does that now, and that's why the thing that we sell is short form content, because it's so addicting and it's so big nowadays that if people aren't using it as an influencer, anyway, I'm talking about other things. So I think you already know this, but it's just being conscious of it, really. So yeah, I've got a few more things I want to talk about. So I don't know, where would I start? You need to be the person that's already at the goals that you want. So if you're going to be, let's say, a millionaire, right? You're a millionaire. How does the millionaire act? I know what, so many people have said this. So many of these like self-help gurus have said this exact same statement. But what is the person that you want to be? Like, where do you want to get to? And what is the person that is at that goal? When you're a millionaire, how does a millionaire act? When you're a billionaire, how does a billionaire act? How do they go about their day? Do they go about their day waking up at midday? Well, I mean, maybe they might get up at midday. That's besides the point. It's just more what they do at the time when they wake up. Do they wake up and the first thing they do is sit on their phone on TikTok for an hour, get up, have a shower, watch a bit more TikTok, sit there maybe watching TV or Netflix or something. I'm talking about weekends, because obviously if you've got a 9-to-5 job, you can't really help that, right? But in your free time, how do you live your life away from trading your time, right? How does a millionaire act? Because I don't think a millionaire is watching TikTok when they wake up, having breakfast whilst watching TikTok as well, because they can't sit there in silence with their own thoughts. And then they finish watching TikTok and eating breakfast. Maybe they watch a bit more TikTok. Then they'll go and play video games. Then they might go out with their mates for the day, like play football or whatever. And then they'll come back, and then they'll maybe go to their mate's house and have drinks. And I'm not saying don't do this stuff, because this is what people like to think of as like enjoying your teenage years. I'm not telling you how to enjoy your teenage years, but in the free time that you have, when you don't have any obligations to hang out with friends and things like this, how do you spend your free time on your own? And if you spend your free time constantly stimulating yourself and not getting you anywhere near your goals, what is the point? You know, you're just wasting time. There's only a finite amount of time that you have on this planet, and you sit there wasting that time on I keep talking about TikTok, but it's just such a problem nowadays. I think it's just fucking everyone up so much. Everyone's attention span's fucked. But yeah, what I was getting at is, yeah, I think you need to live like how you would when you're at the goals that you want, right? And if you're at that millionaire status and you're disciplined, to which I saw a thing earlier and it was like a thing that said discipline equals freedom, right? And freedom can be interpreted in many different ways. There's time freedom, money freedom, just any. Those are the two main ones, right? Those are the two main goals that most people have. But you've got to have a reason to get to those goals, and if that reason isn't clear, then you're not going to have a reason to get up every morning. Yes, you can say to yourself, oh yeah, I need to get this done. But if you don't have a reason why you're getting this done, you're not going to get it done. And you're going to end up procrastinating it for a week straight. And then you'll get it done. And then you'll get it done in like a week. To which, yeah, you're not going to get anywhere. So you need to clearly define your goals. And I've read this in the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's the most mainstream book of all time, I know. But you need to make your goals as clear as possible, and you need to repeat them to yourself. This is just a way of doing it, right? You need to make your goals as clear as possible. Then you need to repeat them to yourself every single day, to which your subconscious then picks up on those goals, right? And yes, if you've read the book, it's pretty spiritual. It tells you all this stuff about vibrations, frequency, and I know a lot of people think that to be bullshit. I'm not saying whether I think it's bullshit or not. I'm also not going to sit here and question a millionaire or a billionaire, because I'm not one of those things. So I can't tell you what's right and what's wrong. I'm also 20. My worldview is a bit fucked. Well, it's not fucked, but it's like my worldview isn't, a lot of it doesn't come from my head. It comes from other people's heads, and I've then picked up on it from their heads, right? Like from what they've told me or the books that I've read. So that's why I can talk with some certainty on some topics, because I've kind of just picked up from other people and their experiences. But that's what's good about reading books, because if you're reading books, you're reading from other people's experiences and their life experiences, to which you then don't have to go through them. Or yes, it'd be better if you did them yourself, because you'd realize it a lot more. But if you're picking stuff up from other people before you've even done it, when it does come up, you can be like, oh shit, I got told this. Or it just kind of makes your worldview a lot more quote unquote wise, I'd say. So yeah, what he was saying in the book is, I've gone off topic there, sorry. What he says in the book is, you need to repeat to yourself every day what your kind of goals are. And you don't want to make them materialistic goals. Yes, maybe you could, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to change. I could go on a whole different topic here. I'm not going to. I'll do it afterwards. What was I saying? Yeah, if you're sat there like, I want a Lamborghini, I want a Lamborghini, I want a Lamborghini, I want a Lamborghini. Why do you want a Lamborghini? There's no reason why. You want Lamborghini for social status, and that's never going to make you fulfilled, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't get a Lamborghini for yourself, really. You do, of course. You like the revs, but after a while, it's going to get boring. The main reason people buy Lamborghinis is for social status, and they rock up to say, somewhere, and everyone's looking at their car. They get out of the car, everyone's like taking photos of their car. You can let people sit in your car. When you turn up to a family dinner, everyone's going to be like, holy shit, how have you got a Lamborghini? You know, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to be motivated by. If it works, it works. But I think it's better to have more of a fulfilling goal, because it's always going to motivate you, as opposed to, yeah, I just want a Lamborghini, you know? So my kind of goal is, I've said this in like the last video, this is the kind of goal, I won't get into like repeating it to myself and whatever, but my kind of goals are allowing my kids to have the best life they can, living in a nice area and being financially free enough to be able to allow them to live a nice life, allow myself to live a nice life, allow myself time freedom, allow myself financial freedom. I know they're big goals, but they're goals nonetheless. And why do I want those things? I want the children to be happy. I want to enjoy the life that I have, because there's only a certain amount of time that I have on this planet. So I want to spend it as best as I can. I want to look after my wife as best as I can. And I don't want her to have to really, really work, right? I want to just kind of be able to be in the moment with my kids when they're there. I don't want to have to neglect them to do a bit more work every single day. Yes, I'll have to sometimes, but when their children are back from school, let's say 3, 4 p.m., I'm not going to have to sit there every day, unless I've absolutely fucked myself over and I'm doing every single little menial task in a business. I haven't automated them, but I'm only 20 now, so I'm not going to have kids for a while. To which, if I was doing the menial tasks, I'd have to keep going away and working on my business at like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and neglect dinner. Then they go to school the next day. I'm just neglecting every day, and that just defeats the point of life, because I think the point of life is to enjoy the time with your kids, or enjoy the moments as best you can, because your kids aren't going to live with you forever. And by the time they're 18, I think there's this thing where 95, when kids turn 18, they've already spent 95% of the time that you'll ever see them, ever. To which they then move out, and if they're living in a different town, in a different city, in a different country, you're going to see them, let's say, 2 weeks a year. You're seeing them 2 weeks a year. They're 18. You're, let's say, 50, right? Just to be on averages. You've say got 30 years left. You've seen them 2 weeks a year. There's 30 years, so you've got 30 times 2, so that is 60 weeks, but it's probably not even that many. They'll come for like 2 nights, 3 nights, and it depends how loving your kid is, how much they see you. Some people will see their parents more than others, but just put it into perspective. You see them every single day for your whole childhood, and then as soon as you leave, you're no longer going to see your kids again. And I know I'm talking about this at 20 years old, about having kids, right? But it's just, the point of life is to enjoy the moments that you have. And that's why you work, is so that you can enjoy the moments when they do come up, and you don't have to worry about other things, and you can enjoy, and you work meaningfully in the work times that you have. So when the kid goes to school from 9 till 3, this is just a good example. If kid goes to school from 9 till 3 p.m., that's a 6-hour time slot you can work. You can get all your time done in that time, work done in that time. To which when they come home, you don't neglect them, and you can spend as much time as you like. Otherwise, they're just going to grow up and leave you, and you're going to be like, shit, I was working. I don't even remember what I was even working on. It brought me no fulfillment, and I wasted the whole time my kids were growing up to work for. So that's why I see it. That's why I'm kind of working. So yeah, my goals. Again, I've gone off topic. My goals are look after the kids as best as I can, be financially and time free, so I can spend my time doing what I want to do. And again, use time intentionally. This is what I'm talking about by living like the person that you want to be, right? You have to live the same way, and you just got to be intentional with your time. That is key principle number 1, I think. As long as you're using your time and doing one thing at a time, you're just going to move forward exponentially every day. I think that's the key to everything. Like, just forget about everything else. If you can just use your time intentionally and do one thing at a time, you're going to enjoy the moments when they come up, the good moments when they're there, and you're also going to be working in the moments that you're meant to be working. So there's no overlap of, oh yeah, but I could be working here, or I could be enjoying it here, but I'm thinking about this. It's just like doing one thing, doing the other thing. It's like work hard, play hard. It's the same. It's true. It's true. Work hard, play hard. It sounds cliche, but it's true. So that's my kind of perspective. Again, I've said it. My goals, do those things. I would like, my childhood dream has always been to have a white Porsche, right? And I know I said the Lamborghini thing, materialistic, whatever, but it's just like one of those things. I think many guys, they want a nice car, you know? You want a nice car, you want a nice house. They're the 2 main principles of materialistic things that everyone kind of wants. No one wants to have a shit car, no one wants to have a shit house, you know? So, yes, they're materialistic, but they're goals nonetheless. Again, I've said the same sentence like twice. So yeah, discipline equals freedom, and you just got to, I think, it is a very good point from Napoleon Hill. If you can just repeat your goals to yourself every day, it reminds your subconscious brain why you're doing the things that you're doing, And then you're just going to keep doing them, and then as you do that, it's going to be ingrained as a habit, and you'll just keep going. And then you're not going to think about the things you're doing as hard things, because the more you do them, as I said in the last video, the more you do them, the less hard they're going to become, because they're just like habits. Like, yeah, this is just light work. I do this every day. I do this every day. I write documents every day. I fill in spreadsheets every day. I send emails every day. And it's just like, okay, who gives a fuck? I do it anyway. Whereas if you're going from 0 to 100%, you're like, fuck, I've got to sit here and write this 100-page essay or 5-page essay. It's like, oh man, and then it's a massive wall of resistance. So I can all of these points that I've kind of gone over in the last few videos, they all interlink in some regard. So yeah. Again, I'll say it one more time. I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, because people will have missed the video. The more important a task is to your soul's evolution, the more resistance and procrastination you will feel towards doing it. So the most important tasks, the tasks that are going to move you forward in life, are the ones that you're going to feel the most resistance and procrastination towards doing, to which you then find an easy escape. I'm not going to say any more. You can interpret it yourself, because I've said this so many times. I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyway, last thing. So yeah, you need to be the person who's already at the goals you want. You need to be a millionaire before you're a millionaire. You need to act like a millionaire would act. Otherwise, you're going to have to grow as you move. This is why people who win the lottery, they go broke, because they haven't gone through the process of getting rich and understanding money, understanding finances, to a point of which they get that money, and then they don't know what to do with it, and then they just lose it all again. So you need to go through the process of becoming the person that you want to be, and doing that is trying your best to be that person. You're just going to learn along the way. Right, and it's better to do than to procrastinate and learn. You need to do a good bit of both. I feel like I'm going over the same things every video, but I think I'm adding some sort of value each time. So yeah, it's good to read, but what's the point of reading if you don't actually take action on the stuff that you're learning? So there's a balance between the two. But anyway, I'll leave it at this. The scariest thing is being in the same place you are now a year from now. So if I was to sit here and playing video games every day now, playing video games a year from now, I look back on my life, that's a year of my life gone. There's only a certain amount of years that I have, and especially when the years that you have are your younger years, to which you're more healthy, you're more active, you can do more things every day, you've got a lot more energy. Wasting that time, I think, is a very dumb thing to do, and I know it's easy for me to say on a camera, and obviously lazy people like to be like, yeah, but it's just nice, I like playing games, it's enjoyable, I enjoy it. I understand that. I played games my whole life. I stopped playing games like a year ago, 2 years ago. If you go down my YouTube channel, you will see all of my gaming videos. But I've come to the point of realizing that if you're doing that every day with nothing else going for you in your life, you're just going to be sat in the same place for the rest of your life. Yes, you might get a promotion, but that's the most ecstatic point in your life you're going to get, right? It's not really fulfilling, and you're not going to be able to look after the people you love doing that. So that's yeah. I don't think there's much more I need to say on that. So yeah, the scariest thing is being where you are now a year from now. Yeah. So take action accordingly. Yeah. But on that note, I've recorded this video today. I've recorded another YouTube video today, which is being edited by an editor. I just need the thumbnails doing as well. I've recorded a video sales letter. I got 200 leads. I sent out 50 messages to influencers, which is another. So I basically got 250 leads today. I'll reach to those. But yeah, again, the only problem I have is I get up too late, and I also don't get out of bed straight away. I don't go on TikTok, but I feel like I waste a lot of time in the morning before I actually get started working, which is all right, but I could be doing better. And again in the evening. But anyway, on that note, the scariest thing is being in the same place you are now a year from now. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my newsletter in the description. Cheers.